Tim from Fit to Drive School, and I'm doing a video of the walk around of the car. So this is by no means a comprehensive safety check. It won't make you an expert. It will perhaps make you look like an expert, but we're going to do a very cursory safety check. If you are buying a late model or even an early model used car, this will give you a few things to look for. Mostly, first things first, okay, registration number of the vehicle. Okay, make sure that the car is registered. Several weeks ago, I was going to buy a manual vehicle. I did a rego check using the app that I've downloaded to my phone. I'm here in South Australia. I believe most states have some sort of app that you can download or a phone number that you can ring. Over the phone, the gentleman told me prior to coming out that the car was registered. It wasn't registered, and I did not end up taking that car for a test drive, neither did I end up buying it. So I'm certainly not going to purchase a vehicle that I don't have the opportunity to take for a drive, and neither should you. Okay, so how about we have a look under the car. You're buying a car, last thing that you want to see is underneath there's a huge puddle of oil, so it's all pretty good. This, by the way, is my 2016 Hyundai Accent. I'm a big fan of Korean cars. I believe they make world-beating cars these days, and they've certainly won quite a few awards. So we're going to come up now, have a little look under the bonnet. As I said, this is just a very brief safety check. I've got a nice clean engine bay. As you can see, this car's got 100,000 Ks on it, and it's been an absolute dream to drive. So first things first, how about I have a little look at the battery terminals. No corrosion there, they're looking pretty good. You know, corrosion can be an indication of something going wrong there. I'm not a motor mechanic, folks, so I'll let you sort of go a little bit further into that. I am going to have a look at the oil. If the oil is as black as Hades and thick as molasses, which mine isn't, as you can see, nice light colour, it might mean that the car hasn't been serviced on a regular basis, so do your due diligence. I check the fluid levels as well. Wiper washer fluid level, that's looking pretty good. Give the pulleys a little bit of a pull there. I'll check the hoses also. Look at the clamps, see that the clamps are, you know, fitted properly, that there's no rust or breakages. Give the hose a bit of a squeeze. Okay, everything's looking pretty good there too. As I said, very brief safety check there, but this is, you know, a reasonably late model car. Alright, so I'm going to let down the bonnet, putting it back into its correct position there. As you can see, a little slot there where it tells you where it's going to go in. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take hold of the windscreen wipers, give them a little bit of a shake, make sure that they're not going to fall off in my hands. Plenty of rubber there. I can show you how to make sure that, you know, that the rubber is okay in another video which we will be doing, which will be called the walk around. Take hold of the other one. Yep, that's pretty good. Just a little tip, whether it's a late model used car that you're buying or an earlier one, have a look at the gaps in the paneling. Okay, so if they're the same on both sides of the car, could be an indication that the car hasn't been in an accident. If you find that perhaps the gap here on this side, this is the right hand driver's side, and you go across to the other side of the car and you find that the gap there is a little bit wider, it could mean that the vehicle has been in an accident and the panels haven't been done properly. Okay, so I'm going to go down to the tyres now. Alright, so my tyres have got about 20,000 Ks on them. As you can see, all the wheel nuts are on. Sometimes you can't see that because the hubcaps cover it completely. I want to make sure that my tyres have got nice even wear, and the tyres are at least 1.5 millimeters. Okay, so, you know, on a lot of occasions you can tell if the tyre's bald, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you the technical way of doing it. So we're just going to find, there we go there, if you can see where the pencil is, that little triangle there if I take my finger and I run it into there, I can feel a little nipple. That's the tyre wear indicator. It's a little nipple that pokes up. So if my tread is lower than that particular nipple, it means that the tyres are not roadworthy. Tyres have been correctly inflated. Won't go too much into it. I would do this for every single tyre for the sake of the exercise. I'm only doing it for one tyre at the moment. Okay, but yeah, check all 4 tyres. If the wear is not even all the way across, it could mean that the tyres are overinflated or underinflated. Again, you can Google that sort of information, but it could also be a sign that the car hasn't been serviced and not looked after, and the tyres haven't been rotated. Also, great idea if you can get hold of a copy of the logbook. Make sure that the logbook has been filled in. Look for any discrepancies in the logbook that might mean that someone's bodged the logbook and things like that. Again, it depends on how much money you're buying and what sort of car and that sort of thing. So I'm going to come up to the side mirror on the driver's side. I'm going to give it a little shake. I'm going to push it in. My mirrors actually fold in, so that's good. I've also got indicators on the mirror. We will go into that in another video in what's called the walk around. So if you are whether you're buying the vehicle by yourself or with another person, in my next video I'll show you how to make sure that everything is looking good there too. So again, I'm going to make sure that that's okay. Alright, so just walking around. As I said, I would check all 4 tyres, which I'm not going to do for the sake of the exercise. I'm going to come round to the boot. Okay, nothing worse than buying a used car and finding that all of a sudden you've got a flat tyre, and that car that you've bought doesn't have a spare tyre or a jack. So you can see I've got a nice tidy boot here. I've got my first aid kit here, my little box of tricks here where I carry spares for the back brake lights, and multi-tools, a little bit of rope, a few bits and pieces there as well. Okay, so lifting the little ledge there. Yep, I've got a tyre, spare tyre there. I know that already. Got my brolly there and everything else. Okay, shut my boot, and might do the same for the rear windscreen wiper. Yeah, that's not going to fall off in my hand there. So in the next video, as I said, we're going to be checking the brake lights. I'm going to be showing you how to do that and make sure that everything is working there. So this was a very brief outside safety check. As I said, checking the gaps on the car, checking the rego, making sure that all the mirrors are correctly fastened, windscreen wipers are not going to fall off in your hands, and that the car underneath, when you check underneath the bonnet, that things are looking good there. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like and share. Feel free to leave your comments down below, and in my next video we're going to be doing an inside safety check of the motor vehicle again. Okay, this is Kim from Fit to Drive. Thank you for watching.